Hey, this is Blaine with sfbtraders.com, and I'm looking at stocks on watch for Tuesday, May the 28th. First one I have here is BLDP. Nice breakout on Friday over 125-ish. I think this can push higher if it gets through 140, and then the big level 144 there, which was the middle of the month high from back in March. I think it could push towards that high from March, which is like 155, 156 area. And then if that breaks, who knows? Might be in for a pretty strong run out of this thing. It's definitely known to run. If you look at that push in March off the, um, there was some news story or something back in March on that thing. It's definitely known to run. So keep your eye on BLDP for a continuation breakout. OSH, an interesting chart for me to watch. I think if it can break through the 2 mark this week, we might be ready for a push higher. Definitely needs some volume though. It's relatively light volume stock, but if it gets volume and can bust at that 2 level, I think it might get a nice trade for it, kind of like what OTT did on this past week. CALX, I'm looking for the continuation move through 975, which was the high from earlier in the month. I think if it can get through that after that big bar on Friday, then it should be ready for continuation towards 10. BPAX, this one's been known to run in the past, so it's worth watching again. Kind of broke through this bottom consolidation there through that 120 mark on Friday. Definitely needs through that 125 now for continuation, but it needs another big volume bar. If it can get that volume, that buying volume, then I think it probably pushes higher. But it's definitely not my favorite one to play in the world because when it goes, it usually leaves me behind, or I just end up missing this one. So it's on watch though, just in case I happen to grab it at the right time. We'll see how this one plays out. I'll discuss it more in the trading room if it's there for me. UNXL, I kind of like this chart for a bounce play here. It found support around 22. Now it's looking to bounce. It needs back through that 24 mark. Probably could bounce a couple of dollars, I think, if it goes. STSI, huge downtrend for the past 6 months, 340 to 140. So, but I like this thing. It made a couple higher lows finally. And if it can get through 150 again, I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing pop. So keep your eye on STSI. ACLS needs follow through 160. I wouldn't be surprised to see this thing actually speed up and get a nice big pop out of it one of these days towards 2. There's no guarantee, but I definitely like this chart to go higher. And finally, HTCH looks due for another push higher after that breakout over 350, 325 or 350, which we discussed in the chat room earlier in the month. It finally kind of made a little bit of consolidation, had a day of sell-off, and then it held up pretty well there. So now if it can break through those highs, then probably heads back towards 6 and possibly well over. So keep HTCH on your watch list as well. Those are my top watches for Tuesday, May the 28th. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll see you in the trading room.